Welcome to Level Up, where you get the score on video games. When I did my review of The Legend of Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass, I felt as if I was being a little unfair to the series. The point I was trying to make was that every game that Zelda touches isn't automatically great, and some should just be considered on their own. The reason I felt bad though was because I was using an already beat down game to make that point, which made me feel like I was picking on the series for doing one bad thing. To make up for it, I am going to review a Zelda game that truly does stand on its own. The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64. Coming off the success of Ocarina of Time, the game all future Zelda titles would be compared to, Majora's Mask was trying to continue on Link's adventure, but I would consider this more of a spin-off since so much is different. You start off as Ben, traveling on Epona looking for an unnamed friend. It's hinted to be Navi, who doesn't appear in this game, but this plot point never comes up again anyways. During his search, Ben gets knocked out and knocked off Epona by a skull kid wearing an odd mask. Waking up and realizing his magical ocarina has been stolen from him, Link chases after the skull kid only to fall down a hole. The skull kid laughs at Link and uses the mask power to turn Link into a Deku shrub. Link loses a skull kid, but meets up with the traveling happy mask salesman. He informs our transmutated protagonist that he can help him out, but needs the ocarina and would like the mask the skull kid had on, which was stolen from him, back. Ben is given 3 days to complete this task. I'm now going to stop here, even though I could go on forever about the little details this game's story has. It has a lot of depth and cool happenings in it. However, part of the fun of the game is experiencing it all firsthand. Besides, this is where the game actually begins, and I think that's a fair reason to move on to the gameplay. If you haven't guessed it already from our no Ganon, no Zelda, no Hyrule plot, this game is anything but typical for the series. A time cycle and the mask. It has the normal Zelda adventuring elements, but these are the points worth mentioning. I'll start with the mask. I already told you that young Link gets turned into a Deku. As you would imagine, each one has its own use. For example, Zora has a limitless swim ability and will never drown. There are other types of masks, and they all do something special, mostly obtained during or relating to side quests, but these three are the real gameplay element, and rolling around as a Goron is so fun it's worth mentioning. The 3-day cycle, though not as fun, is something that was just inspired. The 3-day cycle, Majora's Mask has a clock in the game that works on 3, not real time, days. At the end of the 3rd day, it's game over. And some of them just happen at certain times. You shouldn't have done that. .net. For example, there's an alien abduction scene, once again far from typical Zelda, and it only ever happens during the night of the 2nd day. During his search, Link gets knocked out and knocked off Epona by a skull kid wearing an odd mask. Waking up and realizing his magical ocarina has been stolen from him, Link chases after the skull kid only to fall down a hole. The skull kid laughs at Link and uses the mask power to turn Link into a Deku shrub. The point I was trying to make was that every game that Zelda touches isn't automatically great, and some should just You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?